I know. I'm angry too. Grrr. But I have to tell you one thing. Our green set review. Our green set review is today. We're going to be doing rankings 5 down to 0 with 0.5 increments. Super duper fun. It's going to be a lot shorter than our last set review for, what was it, Planeswalkers? War of the Spark. And unlike this green chapadoo, my hairstyle is amazing. Sit back and enjoy, guys. Go in peace, bro. Like, follow, subscribe.
Green, make it grow.
Did you put a break?
I didn't put a break, but I'll put a break for you.
I think it's for you, because you're the one who's going to be editing this.
Editing.
All right.
No, what's not editing?
Let's go to green.
The forest.
Green is the last color we got left, and then
we got
colorless and multicolor.
Yeah, the junk part of the set. The non-color colors.
All right. Start with green, and starting strong with Elvish Reclaimer.
Elvish Reclaimer. He's a pretty interesting card. It being a 1-drop makes it way better.
Yeah, he's a really good 1-drop.
He's a 1/2 for 1. He gets +2/+2 when there are 3 or more land cards in the graveyard. And then you can pay 2, sacrifice land to search for any land and put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library.
Yeah.
I think this card's a 3. It's almost, I think if it was +3/+3, it would definitely be like a 4, but I want to put him solid at 3. I think he's really good.
I put him at 3 also. This is a 1-drop with really good value. Helps you fix, and then it turns into a 3/4, which is insane for a 1-drop.
Booyah.
3.
Healer of the Glade. Here we have a little bit of disagreement, but I put it down as a 1.
I put it as like a 0.5.
But it's an elemental.
If there's like 1/1s,
elementals matter.
If there's one, yeah, but this one's so bad.
But it gains 3, and it's an elemental.
Yeah.
It's also a 1-drop for 1/2.
Yeah, that's not good.
Elementals matter.
That's not good stats. Elementals do matter. So
that's what you tell me every time I say a card's bad.
It. Yeah, it's an elemental, so it got the 0.5 bump from
matter.
0 for me.
3 life is never horrible, but it's also a 1/2
for Healer of the Glade.
This is better than a 2/2 vanilla because it is elemental.
Fine, I'll put a 1.
Booyah!
Because it could gain life, and that could be relevant, or it's an elemental. But it's I just don't like it. I really don't like it.
I know.
I don't think I'm gonna be playing.
It's okay. You're evolving.
You'll play it, and you'll be wrong.
No,
that's okay.
I'll be right, and I'll win the game with it.
Next card is Might of the Masses.
Might of the Masses. You get big plus.
It's back again.
2.5.
Yeah. This is the only combat trick I think I get with 2.5, because sometimes when your board is wide, it's insane. It can be like the best card when you have a bunch of creatures.
It can win you the game.
Yeah.
Then we have the lovely Scorpiona.
Sedge Scorpion. I guess Sedge Scorpion 2.5. I think green wants a 1/1 Death Touch for 1. And that card's been really annoying. Especially against green. You're playing the green.
2.5.
2.5 for Death Sedge Scorpion.
Super
Notably,
solid.
with Rabid Bite, it can kill anything.
Anything. Chat.
Except for
anything that is not indestructible.
Is there a creature with Protector from green in this set? I don't know.
There is.
Oh, well. Can't kill that then.
Nope. It's the beetle that you hate.
Oh, yeah, the beetle. Right. I don't hate it. I just hate it in the main deck. Because if the protection is not relevant, it's just 1/1 for 2. Which is the worst rate imaginable.
Counters can't be placed.
Besides 3 mana 1/1s.
Veil of the Summer. Not Autumn's Veil, but Veil of the Summer. So you get to draw a card if an opponent casts a blue or black spell this turn. Spells you control can't be countered this turn. And you and permanents you control from blue and black until the end of turn.
Sideboard.
There's a lot of things happening in this conversation.
You can sideboard it.
I have it as a 1.5 mainly because it is so strong when you can board it in. But until you do, it's pretty awful.
Yeah, pick it like a 1.5. But board it in when it's good.
Then we have
Archive Troll.
a very dirty troll.
Dude, this guy has a really good rate. No super constructed.
So he's a 3/3, which is normally pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I put him down as a 3 because
I
he
give him a
also has
3.
the ability to gain hexproof.
If he was 1 energy, I'd give him a 3.5. But casting GG on turn 2 and limited is very hard to do.
Yeah. 3.
But his rate is really good. And he protects himself.
Protects himself.
That's why he gets a 3. And then
Greenwood Sentinel. I put it down as a 2.
Yeah. This card is, I think, is still a 2. I think it was a 2 in M19 for me as well. It's like
nothing special.
Not quite a vanilla bear, but you play it sometimes because it costs 2.
Growth cycle. I put it down as a 1. You know, it does increase pretty well.
Put it down as a 1. How many do you have to have before it's like good? I mean, it is a combat trick. You can't play like 5 combat tricks in a deck.
3.
At 3, just as your only combat trick, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. If I have 3 and some vultures, maybe. But then I'm green black, and why do I want it? I'm not sure. It's a weird card. I give it a 1.
Yep.
Could be good in multiples. Not actually sure.
So then we have
Druid.
Leafkin Druid.
I like this card.
I will forfeit that he can be really good. I put him as a 2 though, just because he doesn't have it. And most of the time when we have him in like on the battlefield, he just sits there making mana and that's it. Whereas like some of the other mana dorks can actually attack or like
He's
do
so
something.
good once he starts making 2 mana though.
Yeah, but
Sometimes.
I don't know.
I think he's quite good in a deck that you want to ramp with. Plus, he's an elemental. That's why I gave
Doesn't make him any better.
That's why I gave him a 2.5. Dude,
I want it to be a 2, but 2.5
he
it
might
is.
even be a 3. Like,
No, he is not a 3. Paradise Druid is more of a 3.
well, elf, but the 1/3 elf that taps for 1 mana. That card was like arguably the best green common in M19. And I think this card's like better. It's like you don't really care about the 1 power on that druid, and this one can tap for 2 later, and it's an elemental.
You need to have a bunch of creatures in your deck.
Alright, this might be a really hot take, but I'm gonna say this card's a 3. This is
How did this just get away from me?
This is
I don't
like the
understand
2-drop that
what
you
just
want
happened.
in green. You want to ramp in green.
Where did I put down? 2? Alright, 2.5.
Alright. We'll average it, I guess.
We have
Oh,
to.
man.
I don't want to move on it. I think it's just a 2. I don't think you want more than
I think you're
1.
a hater.
I am a hater.
And I don't think you know.
Because I don't think the 2 mana is going to be made too
I
relevant.
think you're just a hater on the elementals deck.
Plus, when you play like 3 other creatures, what else do you have in your hand that you can play? Like, you should be out of cards by then.
There's
It's fine.
lots of mana sinks, dude.
It's fine. Plummet!
Plummet.
Usually, I would give this card a 0.5 and just throw it in the sideboard. But since there's a lot of flyers in the format, I give it a 1.5, especially since green just doesn't have a whole lot of flying power. It just has a few
never
creatures
does.
with reach.
It does 2 common creatures with reach, which is a big deal.
Yeah, it has
But we'll
reach,
get
it just
to
doesn't have
those.
any flyers.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the only way that it, like, interacts with it. So then if you don't have the reach, then at least you have Plummet.
You don't think we're main decking Plummet all the time in
No.
the draft, though, right?
We're not main decking it.
I
But
I
it
gave
could
a
potentially be the
2.
23rd card. 22nd, maybe.
Yeah, I'll give it 1.5 as well. I mean, I do think it's a strict sideboard card sometime. Maybe some, if you have an insane green deck that just can't deal with flyers at all, you can make
Yeah.
it. Maybe.
But, I mean, like, if you don't have any reach creatures,
You'll
then you
know,
kind of have to play
you'll know
it.
when to bring it in, and just in case you don't know, that's when your opponent has like 3 or more good flyers.
Yeah. Rabbit Bite.
Rabbit bite.
one of the best removal spells for green, so I put it as a 3.5.
I gave it a 3. I could not, in good conscience, give it a 3.5.
Most of the green creatures do have higher power than most of the other
creatures. It has a setup cost that like no other removal spells do, and you have to have a creature, and your creature has to be able to be big enough to take down their creature, or you have to have a scorpion. Scorpion bite.
Bite if you bite. But
it's
it's
weird
the best.
If you get bit by a scorpion, you still die. Like it didn't even sting you, it just bit you.
But but it was rabid.
But you're still dead.
It was a rabid scorpion.
3 for rabid bite.
Season of Growth. We had a bunch of discussions on this. I originally had it as
hard card to evaluate.
I had it at 3 to 3.5 when I first wrote it down, just because I thought the scry ability was super powerful, as well as casting spells on your own guys to be able to do that, because it does have a lot of enchantment auras. But I eventually rounded it down to a 2 because it doesn't always get that kind of value as consistently strong.
And I stayed at a 1.5 just because I think this card's kind of awkward. It's a card that you want you want to have a bunch of creatures in your deck, but also a bunch of ways to target your creatures. But also, this is not either one of them, so you run out of slots.
Yeah, so 1.5.
So sometimes, if you have a bunch of creatures, you probably play it, and certain cards are good with it. Good with Rabid Bite for sure.
Yep. Woodland Champion. We finally got one of those token enhancement cards.
And this one's really good.
Yeah, whenever one or more tokens enters the battlefield, it gets a +1/+1 counter.
I just know that my opponent's going to attack, and I'll be like, alright, I block.
Or put that.
And then they're going to cast Raise the Alarm, and I'm going to be the saddest panda.
Yeah. That would not be a very good day.
This card is insane with Raise the Alarm. It's quite good with Ferocious Pup, too. That's quite a good follow-up as well.
Ferocious Pup.
You just... Pup. I think the upside in this card is high enough. I think I gave it a 3. But, like, if you got a lot of tokens, it could just be insane. Yeah, I give it a 3. If you have it, take your tokens more highly. You kind of want to be doing token things anyway.
Yep.
But it makes anything that makes tokens much more valuable.
3. Center Courser. Excuse me.
No, it's not a 3.
It's a 2.5.
It's 2.5. Just a 3/3 for 3. Pretty solid stats in green. It's kind of your bread and butter grade drop for green.
Yeah. Vanilla creature, but the mana cost does bump the grade. Feral Invocation. We're going back to Theros, guys.
This is a Theros card.
I gave it a 2.
This is an aura but it's also a combat trick. I gave it a 2.5 because aura is combat trick.
Okay.
And it goes well in your Season of Growth deck, Alex.
2.5. Now we got Ferocious Pop.
He's so cute.
Is adorable.
It's too bad his main job is gonna get bone splinters.
Bone Splinters.
This card's very good with bone splinters. Card's pretty good with any of the go wide things. You just want to get a bunch of creatures on the board. You play something like Overcome or Inspired Charge, and then suddenly the Ferocious Pup does get kind of ferocious and not just useless.
It's a dead puppy.
He's also gonna. I also imagine this puppy is gonna be jump blocking a lot, which is gonna be really sad for dog lovers.
Dead puppy.
It's too bad they made him so cute.
Yum.
Because he's gonna die a lot.
Yep. Cutest card in the set.
But he's a 2.5, I think.
Cutest card in the set.
In the right deck, he could be like a 3.
Goes to...
You have like, if you care about tokens or if you have bone splinters.
Ferocious Pup.
If you're going real wide, 2.5 for the pup.
I put it down as 2. It's 2.5 because Brandon wins.
Because I said so.
Gift of Paradise. I put down as a 2.5. I think this is a great mana fixer. It also gains you life, which is really, really good, especially when you're trying to ramp.
Yeah, I think on average this is gonna be like a 2.5. If you're
2.5.
Notably, this card lets you splash double colored cards, and it ramps, which is what most green decks are gonna want. Maybe not some of the. If you're really aggressive, you probably don't play it, but otherwise you put it in your green decks. I'm happy. And you can do some dumb things like splash double colored cards.
As
You have
for
enough.
other dumb things, we have a Looming Shaman.
Are you talking about when you say other dumb things? Are you talking about the combo I came up with the Looming Shaman?
You can go over the combo that you
All
love
right.
to do.
All right, I want to do this because it's gonna be sweet. So I want to play my Battalion Foot Soldiers in green white. I'm gonna play them, and I want to trade them off, and I'll put them all in the graveyard except for one in my hand. And I'm gonna play Looming Shaman. I'm gonna shuffle them in my deck, and I'm gonna play one. And I'm gonna play one of the Foot Soldiers and get them all back.
Oh, value.
And my opponent's gonna be real sad.
Super Sad Panda is our opponent.
Other than that, this card's basically a vanilla 3/2. But 5. You can fill your curve.
1.5.
And sometimes you can have combos with it like that.
All right, we have Disenchant 2.0.
Still 1.0 for me.
I gave it a 1.5 because it gains 3 life.
The 3 life isn't as important to me as 1 mana unless I care. I have cards that care about gaining life. So I would board in Disenchant before this if I was white. But
If you were white green,
still a strictly sideboard card.
if you were white green,
I think so. I don't know.
the gain life might be more
Unless I really
relevant
care
for
about
more of the
gaining
white
life,
cards, though.
I'd rather pay 1 less mana.
Okay,
I'm giving this card a 1.
1 then. Difference of
Sideboard
opinion.
only though.
Sideboard, yeah,
obviously.
sideboard only. We have a Netcaster Spider.
The first of our common green reach creatures.
One of my favorites. I did like the 2 mana
This card hates
Spider
modifiers,
from last set.
Modifiers.
This card just is an upgrade. Way better upgrade. Especially just for 1 mana.
Yeah.
I gave it a 3.
I also gave it a 3.
Solid.
This card is really good at blocking flyers. It trades up with a lot of flyers. I think it trades with Air Elemental, which is pretty sweet.
Awesome.
Overgrowth Elemental.
Overgrown Elemental. It's an Elemental, guys.
Hey, look, it's an Elemental. So
Oh my god.
Alex has got undervalue. Right?
Another Elemental. 2.5.
This card's really good in the Elemental deck.
2.5.
Sometimes you'll have random elementals, which is very possible, but if you have a whole bunch of elementals, this card's really good. I give it a 3. I think on average it's going to be a 3. You could probably play it in every green deck, and it gets much better in the elemental deck. If you don't have any elementals at all, then it's bad. Don't play it if you have
Still gains you life.
at all. If you have no other elementals. Oh, whenever another creature you control dies,
Yeah.
you gain 1 life. Oh, well, that maybe still play it then, even if you have no elementals. But a
Alright,
3. A 3.
3.
Elemental.
Now we have Pulsa of Marasa.
Not a common, notably.
Not a common.
Not a common this time. Too good for a common, apparently.
Put it in as a 3. The 6 life is pretty huge. Return a creature to land. Land's probably not as
6
important.
life is a big deal, and returning a bomb is too.
Yep.
So I gave it. Actually, I gave it a 2.5. Just because
Just give it a 3.
you don't really want to play more than one of these.
Why not? Gain 6 life. Get back creature to land.
Because I don't think you'll have the slots to play more than one of these in the main deck.
I guess.
2.5 for Pulse Marasa. What's next?
Thrashing Browns John.
Raunchy Bird Dern.
Yep.
Burnt Dern.
I put 2.5 to 3. I think he's probably closer to a 3 though.
Me
It's
too,
a very solid creature.
because I actually gave him a 3.5.
Alright, I'm okay with 3.5. I think
Because
this
his
guy's
stats
awesome.
are so good and his ability is just randomly really good.
It's a main deck disenchant.
Yeah,
Booyah.
which is really good against pacifism.
3.5 for him. Then we got Brightwood. Pretty Brightwood. Gonna find no creatures, but I only gave him a 2.
I also gave him a 2.
6 mana is a lot.
It's something you can spend your mana on in late game, but a 2/4 for 4 is not great. 2 for Brightwood Tracker.
Nope. Ley Line of Abundance.
Hey, look, it's a ley line.
Guess
does that
what we're
mean?
gonna give.
It means we don't play ley lines, chat.
I gave it a 0.5.
I gave it a 0.
0.5 only because you can pump your team on the very rare occasion that you're able to ramp that hard.
That's a lot of mana, though. It costs so much.
8 mana is a ton.
Maybe I could see. I don't know. I can imagine, but I can't actually see in my mind's eye. Bringing this card in a board stall to break it up.
I would play this before I would play Fortress Crab.
Wow. You gave Fortress Crab a 1.
I know.
But you gave this a 0.5.
Yes, because every other time that you're not playing a ramp green deck, you do not play it in your green deck, which means on average it's 0.
I don't think you ever play this in your green deck. But
Okay. So we got.
I don't know.
We have to gravitate towards you. So 0.
0.
Night Pack Ambusher.
This card's beating.
4.5.
It's like
This
the only
card,
like big flash creature in the set, and
so
it's so
good.
scary.
It's scary. It's good. It's awesome. Werewolves are here, so we might go back to Innistrad again.
There's actually a good number of other wolf tokens that you can get, which is kind of dumb. But this card's really good. You play it, you probably ambush your opponent's creature, you untap, and then you take instance highlight.
Don't do anything.
You take instance with your higher when you have this, and then you're just like, if you don't do anything on your turn, you're just like, here's a 3/3.
Yeah,
So
I think if you draft
what you're
this,
doing on your turn is not better than adding a 3/3 to the board, don't do it.
you play this with Leyline of Anticipation. There you go. Problem solved.
That's like almost
4.5.
It's almost worth putting in. I agree. This is a 4.5.
I know, right?
That's really good.
Shifting Ceratops.
Oh my god, the rate on this card.
This card's so amazing. Teferi, fuck you, man. What's up, rats? We're going over the set.
Yeah, this guy messes up.
I put him at a
haste,
4.
and you're just like, no, go away,
No,
Teferi, you're
he's
dead.
And then they're like, oh, play Teferi, bounce it? No.
Can't do that.
Teferi's dead.
Anyways, but in limited, its rate is also really, really good. I give this card a 4, just on rate.
I give it a 4
5/4 in stats for 2 GG is just really, really good. And it randomly can't be countered. Randomly can reach for some reason. And
how does it gain
and
reach?
Haste. I don't know how it gains reach. Does it stretch into a giraffe or something?
I have no idea.
Does it transform into a spider? Who knows? But your
Maybe
opponents will probably forget that it can gain reach sometimes.
The legs
will
of
just be like, humph, and eat their flag.
Yeah, I don't know.
But this card's really good. Pick it over like. I think the only common we also gave before was murder, but I think this is slightly better than murder even.
Yeah.
All
right, rats.
So
give me a few minutes. I want to wrap up the set review because we're a little bit behind on the set review too. But yeah, we could probably test it tonight.
Yeah, we need to finish green, and then we need to finish.
So we have Thicket Crasher.
Thicket Crasher.
Trample. Other elementals you control have trample as well. Super fun, awesome time.
Trample has been pretty good, and giving other elementals for trample has been surprisingly relevant in other games that we played.
Yeah, so I think you want to pick it as like a 2.5.
But he gets better in an elemental deck, like all elementals.
Vivian Arkbow Ranger. Triple green is real.
That's a lot of green.
Triple green
is like the only thing holding this card back from being insane.
Yeah. So we have.
If it wasn't triple green, 5, but since it's triple green, I think I have to only give it a 4.
Yeah,
it doesn't protect itself particularly well.
It really doesn't. So I give it a 4 as well.
To like fight something, or a +1 to make your creatures bigger. But if you're behind already, Vivian's not really helping you out too much.
Yeah. So she does help out in the fact that it's like a Rancor on your creatures for the turn.
She's got such a weird -5.
Yeah.
-5 Living Wish? What?
Yeah,
is
why
that
not?
even good?
Well, they had Karn, so I mean, you gotta have other sideboard strategies, right?
Yes. Vivian gets a 4.
4
Mostly because of her restricted mana cost.
Then we have Wolf Rider's Shadow.
Like at least 9 forests.
So this one I put down as a 2.5, and it's a 4 mana equipment. It makes it a 2/2 wolf that you then attach the Wolf Rider's Shadow to it. Creature gets +1/+1. Can't be blocked by more than one creatures. Quick cost is 3, which isn't too bad. Yeah, so I give this one a 2.5. You gave it a 3.5?
I'm giving it a 3.5. I think these equipment that come with creatures are just so deceptively powerful. Like, they're basically 2-for-1s. This one has an expensive equip cost, but also a 3/3 that can only be
I can
blocked
say
by
it's a
one
1.5
creature
for
is
one.
pretty solid, and then if you put this on any like giant green creature, they have to like jump block it.
Yeah, I think 1.5 for one is fine to say, but like
I'm still giving it a 3.5. That's what makes it.
I can go up to a 3.5.
And it's a
that's
wolf
fine.
token.
Wolf token, but it's not an elemental.
It's not.
Unlike Cavalier of Thorns.
That is an elemental.
So, when it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 5 cards of your library, put a land among them onto the battlefield, the rest into your graveyard. So, graveyard synergies are pretty good. When it dies, you may exile it. If you do, put another target card from your graveyard on top of your library. It's not into your hand, which kind of sucks. Growth it. No.
Do we all agree this is the worst cavalry?
This is better than the white one, I think.
I totally don't agree with that.
And, like, I actually just kind of don't like the green one.
I gave the green one a 3.5, which is worse than I gave the white one.
What did I give the white one? I gave the green one a 3.5
It
as well.
is huge and it has reach.
I gave the white one 3.5 as well, but the reach is really important. The
I think
6
I'll stay with
toughness is
3.5.
also good.
If it wasn't GGG, it might be a 4.
All the Cavaliers are triple colors. You can't put that
I
as
know,
a
but
factor.
this is like, this one has the worst abilities.
Yeah, but it has the easiest way to like fix the mana.
Who cares about fixing your mana?
You get a bomb back.
Turn 5 already. Get it on top of your library.
Yeah.
And you have to exile the Cavalier to do that.
Yeah, and when you cast like
Eh.
when you cast a spell to bring back your creature, you don't play it that turn. 3.5.
But you think the white one's a 3.5 and I don't. So I think this one's the worst.
Mammoth Spider.
The worst of the Cavaliers, which is still quite good, by the way. Mammoth Spider. Man, Mammoth Spider is super embarrassed by this Cavalier of Thorns.
Yeah. I put it as a 2.5.
But Mammoth Spider is still a 2.5. It's really good at holding down the forge,
line.
stopping them flyers.
Overrun! I mean, overcome.
There's a big difference between those two cards.
What's the difference?
+1/+1.
Oh, overrun's +3/+3?
Yeah, overrun is 3+.
Okay.
Which is way, way better.
But still,
As
in your
is
go wide
Overcome
strategy,
is kind of your finisher in your go wide strategy, so
3.
it's a 3 on average. It's not going to be a 3 in every green deck, but if you're going wide, it's definitely could be better than that. It'll probably win you the game.
Shared Summons. 5 mana, search your deck for up to 2 creatures with different names. Reveal them, put them into your hand, and shuffle your library. I think
this card is clunky AF.
I think this being instant is just making it pretty huge. Especially getting your 2 bombs or best things, threats, creatures. Get a creature that's maybe an answer to whatever's happening. Get a reach creature. You know, what have you. I think it's like very, very solid. I didn't rate it very, very high, but
I think you only play this card if you have... First, I would have to have bombs. That I would want, like, creatures that are good enough for me to really want to search for them. And I would have to have stuff to do... Like, if I'm holding up 5 mana instant speed, I need to have something to spend that mana on. Because I don't want to just hold up 5 mana on opponent's turn and then this is my...
yeah, but like that's just the thing though, is like if you don't have the bombs or if you don't have those big threats, like how are you winning then?
I think it's so clunky though.
What do you mean by clunky?
Like, you spend so much mana for... and you're not affecting the board, is what I mean by clunky.
Okay, but you're essentially just finding your threats. Like it's 1 more mana than
Yeah, but you have
the blue spell, right?
You have to take your, like, whole turn off.
Well, the same is said about the other card. The whatever of dreams.
that costs one whole less mana. 5 mana is a ton of mana.
So it's 4.
And you can't take turn 5 off to do nothing to the board, or you're usually just gonna die.
Well, it might not be turn 5. If this is your last card in hand and it's turn 5, then yeah, play it. But usually you'll play a 5-drop over it first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is just a card to make sure that you can win the game by finding cards that are actually relevant. And if you don't have bombs, like, I would much rather just go to find Thrashing Bronodon, because those guys are, like,
Is that
actually relevant.
worth it?
If you have nothing else better to grab, then yeah. How are you going to win if you don't have good creatures in your deck? At least this is a way to get out, like, the best of the best.
I don't know. I'm gonna lean toward. I gave this card a 1.5. I lean towards not playing it.
All
I
right.
gave it a 2.5, so
It's
I
at
guess
2.
it averages to a 2.
Speaking of Silverback Shaman,
This guy's
we
got a
have
good
Silverback
rate.
Shaman.
I like that. Pretty solid.
Chandra Spitfire.
Solid stats. Trample. Draws a card.
What else do you want?
And really good rate. Solid 5-drop. I give it a 3.
I gave it a 3. I feel like it should be 3.5, especially since it replaces itself eventually, but I think 3 is just fine, especially with its mana cost.
3.5 is too much, man.
I don't know, that card's really good.
It is, but
It's got 5 attack, trample, draws a card when it dies, like,
in the end, it's just a creature.
yeah, a creature that replaces itself. It's basically 2 for 1. So?
Which is a knock against it. Because you can only play, like, maybe a maximum of 3 or 4 or 5 drops in a limited deck.
And it's one of the better 5-drops, especially a common.
Like, all 5 drops have diminishing returns. Including this one, Wolfkin Bond.
Wolfkin.
This is an aura, but I like it a little bit better. Just because if your opponent's tapped out, you at least get to have a wolf after they kill your guy. Don't cast this into a bunch of untapped mana. That's really bad for you.
Want it to happen. Yeah, so Wolfkin, I give it a 2. I don't think it's anything like particularly special. 5 mana is a lot. I'd rather be playing like an actual creature than just an enhancement.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 2 as well. I'd rather be playing the Silverback Shaman.
Yeah, it's a way better card.
It's a
than
better
that.
5-drop, I think.
Gargos, Vicious Watcher. Vigilance, 8/7 for 6 mana.
It is huge.
Hydra spells cost 4 less to cast.
That's not
because
very
that's
relevant.
relevant.
It is if you have the other rare Hydra in the set.
Draft them together.
Then you have a broken green deck. Because both these cards are very good. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Gargos, for me, gets a 4. Just because he's a huge vigilance creature, and if they ever target it or another creature you control, you basically get a free card. Because Gargos fighting is probably never going to lose a fight.
Nope. Especially when you get to choose. I had 4.5 originally, but I think 4 is probably a little bit better spot. Although he is kind of bomb-esque. 6 mana, 8/7 with vigilance. That if you tried to target it, destroy something.
If he costs less than triple green, I'd probably give him a 4.5.
I think he's solid as triple green. If you're playing 2 colors, triple colors isn't that bad.
4,
especially at 6 or 7
4
mana.
for Gargos.
The Worst Claw.
The Wurstklaw. I love how when you say his name in German, it sounds so bad.
Worst Claw.
So,
2.
The thing that I like about this card is that
elemental?
he's an elemental.
Yep.
The thing I don't like about this card is
that he's an
the
elemental.
6 mana dude, like vanilla.
Yep. 2.
So I guess 2. I would give him 1.5, but I give him an elemental bonus because he's an elemental.
Elemental bomb.
He's also just has keyword big. Like he's just huge and hard to deal with without like hard removal. Here's another big elemental.
Wake Root Elemental, 6 mana, 5/5. Green.
Green.
Untap a land you control, get a 5/5 elemental creature with haste. It's still land. I put it as a 3 to 3.5. I had trouble determining whether or not it should be higher than a 3. just because it does have that cost for its ability.
Yeah.
But the ability is really, really powerful.
I agree. It's more like a 3, just because the ability's really hard to actually activate. You're not gonna have, unless you're like very, very green, you're just not gonna activate it ever.
Yeah, so 3.
But it is an elemental, so 3.
Howling Giant. This guy's really good. Really, really good.
Yeah, I like this card a lot.
He's one of the premium uncommons for green.
Yeah. I give this card a 4. I think it's almost a bomb.
Holy shit!
Just because it stabilizes the board all by itself. If this thing resolves, you get a 5/5 with reach and 2 wolf tokens. You could be very far behind and just play this, and then you're just ahead.
Yeah, and this has been played against me a few times, and it's just pretty crazy.
Every time it gets played against me, I groan. It's like, wow, that's so much power and toughness. Also, why does it have to have reach? How do I beat this? That's why I gave this guy a 4.
Yeah, I gave him a 4 too. I originally was on 3.5.
Does that make him the best green uncommon?
Yeah.
I think it does.
But for some reason...
Yep, best green uncommon.
I just overlooked the reach part. Once I, like...
The reach part is huge.
Double read it. Like, reach is just insane with this guy, so... Pick him very, very highly. He's amazing. And then... Voracious Hydra, the other Hydra of the set. Green X.
This one's a little bit better.
0/1 base, which is actually new to Hydras, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trample, when he enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters, you get to trigger one of the abilities, which is double number of +1/+1 counters on him, or he fights a creature that we don't control.
So, a lot of times this is going to be like a 6 mana, 4/5 fights their creature, or a 6 mana, 8/9 trample. I mean, this card's rate is extremely good at anything above like 1, I think. 2 or above, this card's really, really good, and I think it's a bomb. And it's like almost always a 2-for-1, unless you just want some giant dude.
I think it's a very good bomb too, and I might have overrated it.
I gave it a 4.5.
I gave it a 5. I think this is the premier, like, best of the best card that you could get out of green, just because of the versatility that it has to either make yourself into like a huge creature that your opponent has to deal with, or they're probably going to just take half their life total.
I agree that it is the best.
Or you just kill the other biggest thing on the board.
It is the best green card, but I don't think it's quite a 5.
Yeah. So since the difference is small, we're going to reduce it to 4.5 out of 5.
Rats thinks it's a 4.
It's a 4?
I think it's better than a 4.
Yeah, it gets to fight. Like, the fight ability is really, really good, especially to take down a lot of the other creatures.
It's either a 2-for-1 or it's just like a huge trampler.
Yeah, very difficult to deal with. And that's green.
That's the end of green.
That is the end of green.
Now all we have left are just gold and colorless